Namaste, welcome to Zeel's Astrology, your go-to channel for all things Vedic astrology. Now starting on December 2, Venus will move into the sign of Capricorn where it will stay until December 28. And after that it will move to Aquarius and will be there until January 28, 2025 next year. So basically for the next 2 months, Venus will be in the zodiac signs of Saturn, and both Saturn and Venus will be influencing each other. And before I dive further into the discussion, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you do not miss any updates on our channel. Like and share our videos with your friends and family. Now you can also follow me on Instagram as well, and to book a consultation with me, just drop me an email. All the links are provided in the description box below. Now Capricorn is a practical sign, often associated with karma and action. It's a sign where things get done. It's all about implementing plans. When a planet like Venus, which is all about diplomacy and harmony, moves into Capricorn, it brings a practical energy to how we approach things. Right now, with the way planets are aligned, this practicality is very much needed for every one of us in different areas of life. However, with this Venus in Capricorn, work-life balance will be much needed for many of us, because this Venus will shift your focus more on career and less on personal life. In a way, this shift in focus is great for making career progress in the long run. But on the flip side, this increased focus on work might leave you feeling a bit disconnected from your personal life. You might notice some tensions in relationships or feel like you are not spending enough time with family. So try to make space for your loved ones and balance your personal and professional responsibilities. Here Venus pushes us to approach things practically and focus on what's real and ethical. Staying grounded and on the path of dharma is key. So this period is about learning through practical experience. And keep in mind, after Capricorn, Venus will move into Aquarius. If Capricorn is all about taking actions, Aquarius is about seeking the results of those actions. Be mindful, because Venus is under control of Saturn. If you are overly focused on material desires or taking unethical shortcuts in any area of life, Saturn won't support those actions. Right now, Saturn is particularly strong because it's in its own sign. It's in its Mool Trikon sign. Looking at the other planetary positions, Mars will be directly aspecting Venus in Capricorn, and Venus will also be aspecting Mars. This creates a mutual aspect between the two planets. However, I wouldn't call this a positive dynamic, especially since Mars is about to go retrograde. When that happens, the challenging or malefic side of Mars's influence could become more noticeable. The only saving grace here is retro Jupiter's aspect on Venus and Capricorn. This makes it crucial for us to stay grounded and aligned with dharma, walking the ethical path, and to rely on Jupiter's wisdom and knowledge instead of being driven by Mars's impulsive energy. If we approach things thoughtfully and ethically, Venus can bring us positive results during this transit. One important thing to keep in mind is that on December 15th, Sun will move into the sign of Sagittarius. This shift will have a significant impact on Capricorn, as it places the sign in Pap Kartari Yoga. This occurs because Capricorn will be hammed in between Sun in Sagittarius and Saturn in Aquarius. What does this mean for us? The planetary setup can create an environment of confusion and anxiety for many people. You may feel stuck or find it challenging to make clear decisions during this time. The key is to stay calm and avoid overthinking, and take a step back to assess situations carefully before acting. Now let's look at the nakshatras Venus will pass through. Venus will be in Uttarshada Nakshatra from December 2 until December 7. The first pada of Uttarshada falls in Sagittarius and the other three falls in Capricorn. During this time, making practical and well thought out decisions can lead to long-term benefits. It's a good time to focus on improving yourself, whether that means working on personal growth or refining aspects of your personality. This will also be a good time if you want to spend some quality time with your loved ones, whether it's a trip or a small outing or just creating memories together. Take the time to nurture your personal relationships. Just be mindful not to let material ambitions dominate your thinking during this transit. Now from December 11 till December 22, Venus will be in Shravan Nakshatra. This will be the time when you can learn how to deal with things, especially in your career, with diplomacy and tact. It's a great opportunity to learn how to handle situations with grace and understanding. Keep your ears and mind open during this transit. You will have the chance to pick up valuable lessons across various areas of life. Be mindful of how you evaluate situations. Make judgments based on your own understanding and what you truly observe, rather than relying on others' perspectives. Misjudgments during this time could lead to misunderstandings or issues, whether in your personal life or your professional environment. Now, Venus will transit through Dhanisha Nakshatra from December 22 to January 4. The first two padas of Dhanisha falls in Capricorn, while the remaining two falls in Aquarius. If I will cover the Aquarius portion in a separate video dedicated to Venus in Aquarius. For now, let's focus on Venus in Capricorn portion of Dhanisha. During this phase, you might find yourself making decisions that are more emotionally driven than practical. This shift happens because Dhanisha is ruled by Mars. These excessive emotional decisions could harm you in the long run. You may also feel a stronger inclination towards tangible or material gains during this period. While ambition is great, but it's essential to strike a balance and not let this energy tip into excess. Be mindful of your actions and try to ground yourself, combining both practicality and emotional intelligence to navigate this phase successfully. Now let's start with ascendant-wise analysis. Aries ascendant. For Aries natives, Venus will be transiting your 10th house in the sign of Capricorn. This transit brings a positive period for career opportunities and financial growth. You may experience stability in your professional life, and if your natal chart supports it, this could even lead to career advancement. Financially, this is also a favorable time. However, this focus on career might cause some misunderstandings with your spouse or family. With your attention heavily directed towards work, you may find it difficult to dedicate time to your personal relationships. To avoid tensions, it's essential to maintain a healthy work-life balance during this period. However, we should consider that Mars, soon going retrograde in the sign of Cancer in your 4th house, may negatively influence Venus during this transit. This could lead to challenges such as workplace misunderstandings or conflicts with colleagues and higher authorities. On the brighter side, Venus and Mars are in mutual aspect, and Venus will try to balance Mars's intense energy. However, since Mars is a malefic planet, its impact may still create some tensions. The saving grace here is retro Jupiter's beneficial aspect on Venus, which can provide wisdom and support to navigate this period. Even so, it's essential to use tact and diplomacy in your communication at work to prevent minor issues from escalating to major problems. During this time, how you communicate and express yourself will be very important for your career. Venus, which rules your 2nd house of speech, is in your 10th house of career. It's a great time to focus on being ethical and using the positive qualities of Venus and Jupiter. Try to avoid any impulsive or aggressive behavior of Mars, because that might bring challenges at work. Since Venus is in Capricorn, the work you do and decisions you make now will have lasting effects. You will start to see the results of your efforts slowly and gradually when Venus moves into Aquarius. On the bright side, Mars's aspect on Venus can give you energy and drive, while Jupiter's influence can help you make wise decisions. If you use this energy carefully, balancing Mars's passion, Jupiter's wisdom, and Venus's calm approach, you can make good progress in your career. This is also great time to plan and work on projects at your job. Just remember to balance your work with your personal life to avoid conflicts at home. For married people, this period may bring some challenges in your relationship, so try to maintain open communication and understanding with your spouse. For business professionals, be extra cautious when handling documents or signing contracts. Avoid making impulsive decisions without carefully analyzing the situation, as this time could bring a lot of confusion about what actions to take. Seeking guidance from your family or trusted individuals can help you clear any doubts and make better choices during this phase. Taurus ascendant. For Taurus natives, Venus will be transiting your 9th house in the sign of Capricorn. This is a great time for spiritual growth because your ascendant lord Venus is in the 9th house of Dharma, spirituality and righteousness. Along with this, Jupiter is retrograde in your 1st house and Ketu is in your 5th house. These planetary positions create a very favorable time for focusing on your spiritual path. This is also a good time for luck. If you have been working on living a righteous life or following the path of Dharma, Venus in your 9th house will help bring good fortune your way. While the changes might not happen immediately, Venus will gradually shift things in your favor, so that you get positive results of it on the right time. So for those who have been genuinely feeling stuck or who feel that their luck is not favoring them, then this period will be quite better than before. It's also a positive time if you are planning a spiritual journey or any kind of travel. However, there may be some challenges before or after your journey, as Mars is aspecting Venus. Mars could create obstacles. Luckily, Jupiter, which is retrograde but also aspecting Venus, will provide you with guidance, while Mars may try to cause issues. The positive aspect of Venus on Mars will help keep it under control. Make sure until Venus is in your Dharma Bhav, in your 9th house, it's important not to get carried away by excessive desires, especially financial ones. Overindulgence in material desires could lead to poor decisions, especially since Rahu is in your 11th house and Mars is about to go retrograde in your 3rd house. These positions could amplify any negative influences from Mars and Rahu, so make sure to stay on right path and ethical path. Use the wisdom and patience of Saturn to help you stay balanced and avoid rushing or making impulsive decisions. This period could also bring some disputes with father, so try to handle these situations with wisdom and care. There could also be health concerns relating to your father, so be mindful of that. On the positive side, this is a good time for pursuing higher studies, or if you have been planning to further your education, now is a favorable period. Gemini ascendant. For Gemini natives, Venus will be transiting your 8th house in the sign of Capricorn. Well, this is a great time for research or gaining deep knowledge in any subject you are passionate about. However, Venus, being your 12th lord in your 8th house, is not considered as a positive placement because it may impact your health, especially any issues related to your feet, or if you are suffering from any chronic illness, then be very careful during this period. And it's best advisable to not to indulge in any sort of intoxications like liquor or smoking or any such substances, as it will impact your health even more. There can be an increase in certain expenditures as well during this period. Apart from that, there can be minor issues with your in-laws. And if you have children, pay extra attention to their health. For pregnant women, extra care is highly advisable. Here, Mars and Venus are in mutual aspect with each other, and Mars, which is soon going retrograde on December 7, can amplify any current health issues you may have. So take extra care of your health as much as possible. On a positive note, those involved in research related work may find opportunities for travel, possibly abroad. Venus aspecting retrograde Mars in your second house will offer some relief in family matters. However, avoid hasty financial decisions, especially in speculative markets, as this period is not favorable for such investments. Cancer ascendants. For Cancer natives, Venus will be transiting your 7th house in the sign of Capricorn. This transit can feel like a breath of fresh air if you have been dealing with confusion or challenges since Mars entered your ascendant. Venus brings a soothing energy to help you navigate this period. Until Venus is in the sign of Capricorn, it will try to provide you a sense of stability and guidance, especially in areas where you have felt lost or uncertain. Jupiter, with its wisdom, will also aspect Venus, providing additional support. Mars is also involved, so there may still be moments of impulsiveness or emotional decision making. But that's where Jupiter's influence can help. Try to lean on patience and thoughtful consideration when making choices. If you are unsure, it's okay to take things slow and let the situation unfold naturally rather than rushing into anything. This position of Venus in your 7th house might also bring financial gains through your life partner. For instance, if you are in business and your spouse decides to join you, their skills and efforts could positively impact your business. Together, you might find new opportunities for growth and success. It's also a positive period financially. However, if you are considering investments, especially in stock market or speculative ventures, it's better to be cautious and avoid unnecessary risk during this time. If you have been experiencing challenges in your marriage, this Venus transit could bring some temporary relief, because after mid-December, when Sun will enter the sign of Sagittarius in your 6th house, your 7th house will come under Paap Kartari, as Saturn is in your 8th house and Sun in your 6th house. So 7th house will be hammed. And along with Mars aspecting Venus and turning retrograde, this could intensify relationship struggles in the later half of December. The only saving grace here is the aspect of Jupiter, which provides some wisdom and balance to counteract the challenges. To maintain peace at home and in your marriage, it's crucial to approach conversations with wisdom and mindfulness. Be thoughtful in your words and actions, especially with your spouse, as a calm and compassionate approach can go a long way in minimizing conflicts. For those in business, especially in fields like real estate, property, agriculture or assets, this could be a favorable time to see progress or benefits in your work. Leo ascendant. For Leo natives, Venus will be transiting in your 6th house in the sign of Capricorn. For this placement of Venus, you may experience some sort of issues or disputes either with your neighbors or your younger siblings, and even issues with co-workers or higher authorities. I would suggest not to fall into any unnecessary disputes as much as possible and handle things with wisdom and patience and with diplomacy. This transit of Venus can also bring a sense of relief if you have been dealing with enemies. Additionally, it might open doors for new career opportunities, especially if you have been job hunting for a while. However, be prepared for some hurdles along the way and make your decisions carefully. Mars, which is aspecting Venus from your 12th house and soon going retrograde, could cause some disruptions, especially in areas like sleep or mental peace. On the bright side, Venus will try to balance this out and provide some relief. If you have been facing sleep issues, this period could bring slight improvement. To make the most of this transit, prioritize self-care, rest when you are feeling overworked or exhausted, and maintain discipline in your daily routine. Eat on time, get sufficient sleep, and limit screen time, especially in the evenings and at night. Financially, this transit looks positive, but there may still be occasional hurdles or disputes at your workplace. Stay grounded and things will work out for the better. For Virgo ascendants. For Virgo natives, Venus will be transiting your 5th house in the sign of Capricorn. This is an incredibly supportive transit for spirituality and mantra chanting. With Venus in your 5th house, Jupiter retrograde in your 9th house, that is in your Dharma Bhav, and Ketu in your 1st house. This period is excellent for spiritual growth. It's also a great time to learn new skills, pursue higher studies, or explore creative fields. If you have been feeling stressed or overwhelmed, this transit can help you reconnect with happiness and entertainment, bringing relief and peace of mind. Use this opportunity to engage in positive activities that uplift your spirit and elevate your mental state. For those in creative and or artistic professionals, this is a favorable time to enhance your talents and showcase your abilities. If you are a student, focus on your studies. Your efforts during this period will yield positive results. Your family could also play a key role in supporting your mental peace and happiness. Your Venus in your 5th house will try to positively influence your decision-making skills. So use this period to make wise decisions. You see here, Mars is also aspecting Venus, which will soon go retrograde in your 11th house. So the confusions which Mars provides can be slightly solved here, with Venus transiting your 5th house, helping you in decision-making process. Use this period to make wise and thoughtful decisions, because once Venus moves out of Capricorn, retro Mars aspecting your 5th house may impact your decision-making power, and which may lead to impulsive decisions or might become a risk. Lastly, it's advisable to manage your desires wisely. Ketu in your 1st house and Saturn in your 6th house can restrict desires that are excessive or unnecessary. Focus on what truly matters and keep your aspirations realistic for now. This will help you navigate this transit with balance and clarity. Libra ascendants. For Libra natives, Venus will be transiting your 4th house in the sign of Capricorn. This transit emphasizes the importance of maintaining a healthy work-life balance. With Mars positioned in the 7th house from Venus and soon going retrograde in your 10th house, there could be a strong pull towards focusing excessively on your career, potentially at the expense of your personal life and family life. This is where balance becomes crucial. Make a conscious effort to spend quality time with your family. It will not only strengthen your bonds but also help reduce stress and provide relief in home-related matters. Venus in the 4th house can act as a stabilizing force, offering much-needed guidance to retrograde Mars, which might otherwise push you towards impulsive, emotionally driven career decisions. Venus's energy combined with the wisdom of Jupiter can help you approach your career choices with practicality and thoughtfulness. While Venus is in Capricorn, the influence of Mars is somewhat manageable. Use this time to think through your decisions carefully and avoid rushing into anything based on temporary emotions. Focus on taking steady, practical steps in your career. However, this transit could also bring some health concerns for your mother or minor disruptions at home. Venus may occasionally push you to prioritize your home life whenever you get too consumed by work. Listen to these signals and aim for a harmonious balance between your personal and professional life. Find this equilibrium and it will not only benefit your overall well-being but also create a more stable foundation for your future. Scorpio ascendant. For Scorpio natives, Venus will be transiting your 3rd house in the sign of Capricorn. This is a positive period for those involved in communication, creative fields, or professions that require manual skills. Venus in the 3rd house enhances your ability to express yourself with diplomacy and charm. Use this time to enhance your communication skills, as it could open up better opportunities for you. During this transit, there is also the possibility of taking short trips, perhaps with your spouse. That said, take precautions while traveling to avoid potential hurdles. Additionally, you might find yourself spending on or supporting your younger siblings. If there have been any misunderstandings or issues with your neighbors or siblings, Venus's energy can help bring some relief and foster reconciliation. Venus here also acts as a guiding influence on Mars, encouraging a more ethical and thoughtful approach in your actions. Use this time to align yourself with a sense of purpose and integrity. Overall, this period is to focus on building better connections and improving skills. Sagittarius ascendant. For Sagittarius natives, Venus will be transiting your second house in the sign of Capricorn. This is a positive period, especially for finances. Venus in your second house can help you discover new financial resources and bring opportunities, particularly for those working in banking, finance, insurance, and even the food industry. It's also a good time to handle any family matters with patience and wisdom. Just make sure of your communication, as disputes in the family might arise if things aren't handled wisely. Venus, while positively influencing your finances, will also help you navigate issues in your family. However, Mars is aspecting your second house, and as it goes retrograde, some of its negative influences could amplify. Despite this, Venus will try to soften the impact of Mars's energy, offering guidance in dealing with potential challenges. On the other hand, take care if there are any health issues in your family. Overall, it's a good time for financial opportunities, but remember to stay calm and thoughtful in your personal relationships and family matters. Capricorn ascendant. For Capricorn natives, Venus will be transiting your first house, which is your ascendant. As your 10th house lord moves into the first house, this can bring you great career opportunities, especially for those who have been looking for a job for a while. It can also improve your financial situations, helping you make progress in these areas. This is also a good time to focus on improving your outer appearance. You might consider changing your hairstyle, updating your wardrobe, or making other changes that will have a positive impact on your career. It's a great period for self-expression and self-improvement. If you have been trying to conceive and your chart supports it, this period could provide a good opportunity. You might also find yourself having a more meaningful communication with your child, which will bring you closer together. Venus's influence in your first house also supports spirituality and mantra chanting. You may feel very slight relief in any issues in your marriage. However, be extra cautious with your speech, especially once Mars goes retrograde on in your 7th house. Be careful in your interactions with your spouse and in business-related communication, as this could affect your career. Your words will have a strong impact during this period, so it's important to stay mindful and communicate thoughtfully. Aquarius ascendant. For Aquarius natives, Venus is transiting your 12th house in the sign of Capricorn. This is a favorable period for spiritual activities such as hosting rituals like havans, pujas, or other spiritual practices at home. It's a great time to connect with your spiritual side and enhance your inner peace through such activities. It is advisable for Aquarius natives not to indulge in any sort of intoxications like liquor or smoking or any such substances, as Venus in the 12th house may tempt you to indulge in such intoxicating substances. Venus in the 12th house can sometimes tempt people to indulge in these things, but it's advised to avoid them, especially because Saturn is currently in your first house, Mars is in your 6th house, and Ketu is in your 8th house. With Mars going retrograde soon, these influences can negatively affect your health. So it's important to be mindful of your habits during this period. On the positive side, this is an excellent time for students who wish to pursue higher education abroad, if your chart supports it. You may also find opportunities to visit foreign lands as a tourist, or even purchase property, especially in foreign locations if you live there. Be mindful of your finances during this time. as Venus in the 12th house can tempt you to spend on luxury items or unnecessary things. Since Mars is aspecting Venus, these temptations may be amplified. It's important to manage your spendings wisely to avoid unnecessary expenses. Pisces ascendant. For Pisces natives, Venus is transiting your 11th house. If your chart permits, then there can be sudden gains from inheritance, and also Venus being your 8th lord in your 11th house could provide you gains in form of deep down knowledge as well. Apart from that, this period can give some ups and downs and fluctuations in your finances. Now here it's essential to keep your desires to minimum because Venus may increase your desires, sometimes unnecessary desires. Remember that Venus is in the sign of Capricorn, the sign which is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is right now positioned in your 12th house, and it also rules your 12th house. So Saturn may work in its own way to cut any unnecessary desires. Excessive desires may not lead to positive outcomes. So it's best to focus on what's truly necessary. It's a good time for new initiations. Just be careful of any sort of frauds. Additionally, this period may bring some tensions or fluctuations with your siblings or social circle, especially after Mars goes retrograde in your 5th house. Be mindful of your interactions as this may lead to some misunderstandings, miscommunication or disagreements. Try to stay grounded and manage these situations with patience and wisdom. So that's it. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Have a wonderful day ahead and meet you in the next video. Until then, take care and namaste.